Yo, what's up? It's your boy Bo Nappy back with another video. We are back in the relationship streets, and we got a pretty good one. Um, as always, like the video, subscribe. It helps the videos get seen by other people, so I can grow the channel. I would really appreciate that, especially if you do enjoy the videos. Um, it would help me grow, and that would be awesome. With that being said, we are going to get right into it. I, 44-year-old female, became disabled 3.5 years ago, and my husband, 45-year-old male, sighs when I ask for help with basic tasks. Oh boy. My husband and I have been together 20 years, married 10. Okay. I became disabled about 3.5 years uh, ago, and despite losing most mobility in my legs, coupled with some significant pain flares where it's hard to move, I still keep up with a lot of tasks. I'm also the primary caretaker for my daughter. I dress her up, bathe her, feed her, um, take her to and from school, do homework, etc. I do the shopping, organize family events, do our finances, schedule doctor's appointments, etc. As far as housework, I still do the majority of laundry, dishes, meal for hubby, my daughter, and myself. I still keep everything tidy and neat in all rooms. I clean the kitchen, windows, clean the bathrooms, even if it's on my hands and knees. But I just don't vacuum any longer. Fair. Now, my husband has always cut the grass, does the pool, hot tub, garbage, etc., and works a full time job. So I understand he's busy too. I'm a type A, and prior to becoming disabled, I did everything and never asked for help from anyone. I just did it all. I never asked my husband to vacuum or help with laundry and simple tasks like when he's home from work. Like if you could retrieve a few things for me so I can save some physical steps. For example, I asked, can you get our daughter a snack? Can you throw the laundry in the dryer? It's hard for me to bend some days. Or can you fill my water, get my pills, etc.? Mind you, 80% of the days he comes home to a meal waiting for him, and we don't bother him until he's showered and finished his dinner, or he's even more grumpy. Okay. When I ask him these favors, in quotations, I am a lot of times met with eye rolls, heavy sighs, or sarcastic remarks like, great, or I am so happy to do this for you. Um, I talk to him over and over to nauseum how this hurts my heart very much. It's already hard enough I have to drive, but do not have the physical stamina to accomplish the millions of tasks set forth. He said at least 2 dozen times that he'll do better, but it's 3.5 years. Okay, so it sounds like it's just been the same. It makes me so distant from him. I also lost so much respect for him that it's hard for me to see him as a partner. Okay, well, that's definitely going to be affecting your intimacy. I know he works hard and has stressors, but I wanted a teammate. I feel cheated. He says who cares what his response is just as long as he does what I ask. What are your thoughts on this? I'm lost on what to do next. Thanks in advance for the read. That's tough. Um, yeah. Okay, so this is a good one. This might just be it. Um, so for starters, um, sorry about whatever incident, accident that you had. That's tough. That's just life being life, and on this planet, it's shitty. Um, so both of you guys are right in a sense, but I think ultimately your husband should do better. When you guys got together, it sounds like you. It sounds like he is the he is the money and you are the stay at home. I don't know if this is changed. I don't know if you were working before and now you're not because of your physical condition. or what have you. But it sounds like what the vibe was for you and your husband was he works and brings home the money, he does the physical outside task, and now and you do the inside of the home task and you take care of your daughter. So he's a money husband. And it was working, right, until 3.5 years ago when something happened and you became physically disabled. So, for starters, you guys have been together for 20 years. So, 17 years into, we'll say 16 and a half years into your relationship, there was a major change that happened. So, you got to think for 16 and a half years, you guys have been one thing. And now for 3.5 years, this has changed. I understand that you would think somebody that you've been in a marriage with for 20 years or even at that time 16 years um, would love you and like make you feel better about what's happening and want you to feel good about stuff. But this is a very big adjustment for both parties. There's a big adjustment for you because you can no longer be the independent person you want to be. You do need help. And this is a big adjustment for him. Um, in terms of having to help you more with things that you probably used to just not want him to help you with. So, for starters, I would say that even though it has been 3.5 years, in the span of your relationship cycle, that is not a long time. You know what I mean? That's not a long time. So, there is still going to be adjustments. Now, what I will say about this is, um, in my opinion, let's say it was me put in those shoes, God forbid. Um, I don't want to make my partner feel bad about something they can't control. Um, that's really the big thing here. Like, is it inconvenient for him to have to do a little bit more stuff at the house now because you're impaired physically? Yes, and he is perfectly within his right to be frustrated with it because it is more than he's used to having to deal with. It's more tasks than, let's say your 50-50 agreement of he works and you take care of the home. He is going to have to extend and do more now. So he is perfectly within his right to be frustrated. I do want to make that known. With that being said, he does also need to consider how you feel and how that your, current disability is not within your control. You're not asking him to do things because you're lazy or because you don't want to do them. You're asking him to do things because you can't do them. So, in my opinion, for this particular situation, because you guys have been together so long, and it sounds like you pledged your case a number of times, but you might not be able to. Either you're not, he's not hearing you, or maybe you can't explain it in a way that he gets where you're coming from. In this particular situation, I would definitely recommend counseling. You know what I mean? You guys have been together for 20 years. You're both middle aged. You have a daughter who's probably a little bit older now, I would assume. Maybe, maybe not. Um, this is a situation that I think you guys need to go to counseling because there's a lot of factors going on that are outside of the norm in terms of dealing with somebody who's impaired physically. All of a sudden, there might be some resentment on both sides. He might resent you. Again, I'm not saying that he's right for doing this. I'm just putting it out there as a possibility. Because you are now physically, impaired, and now he has to do more things that were previously not in his responsibility toolhouse. He might resent you, or he might start resenting you because now he has to do more things than he used to have to on top of his, regularly scheduled tasks. Um, you know what I mean? Also, you mentioned that because of like the way he says things, that you feel like you don't look at him like a partner anymore. Let me try to find it so I can highlight it. Him. Yeah, right here. It makes me so distant from him. I also lost so much respect from him. It's hard for me to see him as a partner, right? This screams lack of intimacy. And you didn't really talk about it in this. You didn't really talk about it in this post, but I would ask how this has affected your sexual life. How long, how often are you guys having sex? How often were you guys having sex before this, whatever happened to you? And how often have you guys been having sex after? Has there been a slowdown? This could also lead to frustrations from him. Again, I don't want this to sound like I'm taking his side because I'm absolutely not. Um, I think if you really love somebody, you are going to do whatever you can do to help them when they need help. It's not even going to be a favor. It's just gonna be, oh, I got to do this because that's my wife and I love her. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not an. It's not even a chore. It's just something that you just got to do. It's like I would assume it's like what you do for your kid, or it's like what you do with a dog. If my dog is hurt, right, and she can't get up and walk, I got to bring food to her. I got to carry her out. I just have to. It's not a chore. It's just I got to do it. And you would think that would be the temperament of your husband, seeing that you're in need and you're in pain, but it's not. So that's where the problem is. So it sounds like there's probably a lot of things in here that need to get talked about. Um, you know what I mean? You did mention that he has works hard and has stressors and all that stuff. Um, yeah, it's tough. I would ask, is there anything that you do for him to let him know that you appreciate him helping you and doing more than he previously had to? Men a lot of times run, appreciation verbal appreciation goes a long way for men, just in general, just saying thank you, just saying that you appreciate them, just what I mean, saying that you're awesome, or just even if it's cheesy, just appreciating a man does a lot for him psychologically. You know what I mean? It does. Obviously, you need help, and there's no real option for you not to ask for it. And it sounds like you go out of your way to try to put things off that you need to try to make it as convenient as possible. So you're doing, I think, everything you need to do on your end to be convenient. But I would ask, if are you saying when he does do these things for you, are you saying thank yous? Are you saying I appreciate you? Or are you doing things maybe to maybe help him out in his stressors? Are you doing extra stuff to make him feel like he's appreciated for having to step into this role, um, this bigger role to help you? So I just want to make sure that you're not just taking it for granted, right? That he is supposed to just step up and help you and be happy about it. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like. Not that you're taking it for granted, but it seems like you're assuming that he's supposed to step up and help you and be happy about it and enjoy it because he loves you, and that's not the response that you're getting. But I completely agree that the eye rolls and the sarcastic responses are, to me, that's out of line and that's immature. I mean, that's not, and it sounds like you still be on your stuff. So, like I said, this I think needs to go to therapy for sure. There's a lot of things that need to probably be unpacked here, um, but this is a good one. It's really tough, but you're 20 years in. I would take this to therapy for sure, for sure. But let me know what y'all think. I mean, is he a jerk? Is she asking for too much? Are they both right? Are they both wrong? I just kind of laid it out. I tried to be neutral. I do kind of lean more towards her side, though. I think that from what she's written, again, there's two sides to every story. For what she's written, it sounds like, she's doing everything in her power to help out, and he's just, not really making her feel like they're a part of a team anymore. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the vibes. I'm out. Peace.